I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.
Lorenzo sees Marquez can get victory with the Ducati Desmosedici GP23. However, he believes that the Spanish racer has not fully adapted to the Ducati motorbike. I think he will win on that bike now. He hasn't adapted to riding 100%, said Lorenzo. However, Lorenzo claims that Marquez cannot compete with other racers, especially Ducati racers riding the Desmosedici GP23. The record for the youngest win is Pedro Acosta's target in MotoGP 2024, chasing the record set by Marc Marquez in 2013. Moreover, the opportunity is really open for Paco, Pedro Acosta's nickname in the MotoGP infographic. How could it not be open? Pedro Acosta has the chance to take the highest podium in MotoGP 2024 in order to break Marc Marquez's record for youngest win in the next few MotoGP rounds. What did Lorenzo say next? What is Pedro Acosta pursuing in Marquez? And here is the full news. Jorge Lorenzo said Marc Marquez could not compete in MotoGP 2024. He changed his view after seeing the Baby Alien's performance in the United States MotoGP. Marquez is slowly finding his best performance in MotoGP. With Gresini Racing, he managed to achieve 2 podiums in the sprint race session. However, Marquez still couldn't finish in the top 3 during the main race. Meanwhile, of the first 3 MotoGP races, finishing 4th in Qatar was the 6-time world champion's best achievement so far. Lorenzo sees Marquez can get victory with the Ducati Desmosedici GP23. However, he believes that the Spanish racer has not fully adapted to the Ducati motorbike. I think he will win on that bike now. He hasn't adapted to riding 100%, said Lorenzo, Thursday, 18/4. The Ducati Desmosedici GP23 was able to show good performance in MotoGP 2023. This is because 3 racers succeeded in occupying the top 3 positions in the final standings, namely Francesco Bagnaia, champion, Jorge Martin, runner-up, and Marco Bezzecchi, 3rd position. However, Lorenzo claims that Marquez cannot compete with other racers, especially Ducati racers riding the Desmosedici GP23. The reason is that Bagnaia and Enea Bastianini, Ducati Lenovo, and Martin and Franco Morbidelli, Prima Pramac Racing, got the latest motorbike, namely the Desmosedici GP24. He adapted very well, but he was still a little lacking and he had a GP23, he couldn't compete with the others, explained the 3-time MotoGP world champion. On the other hand, Por Fuera said Marquez was a racer who was difficult to predict. This also makes Martin, who is currently leading the 2024 MotoGP standings, not only focus on Francesco Bagnaia, but also on his senior. I know Marc very well, he's a showman and I like to have fun, and this weekend it showed, he said. On the other hand, 2 times Rookie of the Year MotoGP 2024 Pedro Acosta beats Marc Marquez's record. The target most pursued is that the youngest record must be under 20 years 63 days, the same as 20 years 2 months 2 days. Pedro Acosta has beaten Marc Marquez twice for the youngest record in MotoGP history. Firstly, when Pedro Acosta finished 3rd on the podium in the Portuguese MotoGP, he made him the 3rd youngest racer to succeed on the podium in a MotoGP race. Next, in the 2024 American MotoGP, Pedro Acosta was on the 2nd podium, becoming the youngest successful back-to-back podium in a MotoGP race. Again, ousting Marc Marquez at a younger age, namely 19 years, while C-Ant is 20 years old. With the 2 youngest records successfully set, the racer born May 25, 2004 is really chasing Marc Marquez. El Tiburon, nicknamed Pedro Acosta, is aiming for the youngest winning record set by Marc Marquez in 2013. Marc Marquez took the highest podium in the 2013 American MotoGP Premier Class at the age of 20 years 63 days or 20 years 2 months 2 days. That is the record for the youngest MotoGP racer to win a MotoGP race, successfully displacing Freddie Spencer's record in 1982. Also read, Special Rookie of the Year MotoGP 2024 Pedro Acosta, Marc Marquez until made to resign were. Freddie Spencer is now chairman of the FIM MotoGP steward who won the 1982 Belgian GP Premier Class at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit at the age of 20 years 196 days. The record for the youngest win is Pedro Acosta's target in MotoGP 2024, chasing the record set by Marc Marquez in 2013. Moreover, the opportunity is really open for Paco, Pedro Acosta's nickname in the MotoGP infographic. How could it not be open? Pedro Acosta has the chance to take the highest podium in MotoGP 2024 in order to break Marc Marquez's record for youngest win in the next few MotoGP rounds. The Red Bull Gas Tech 3 racer actually has the chance to chase Marc Marquez's record in 2013, starting from the Spanish MotoGP next week to the upcoming German MotoGP, July 7, 2024. So why does the 2024 German MotoGP have a chance for Pedro Acosta to chase Marc Marquez's record for youngest MotoGP race winner? Marc Marquez set the record for the youngest racer to win a Premier Class race in 2013 at the age of 20 years 63 days or 20 years 2 months 2 days. If Pedro Acosta is unable to win the MotoGP race this season at the 2024 German MotoGP, then he will definitely not be able to catch Marc Marquez's record. The reason is that if Pedro Acosta wins the 2024 German MotoGP, he will certainly be exactly 20 years 1 month 6 days old. Automatically, if Pedro Acosta wins the 2024 German MotoGP, he will break Marc Marquez's record for the youngest MotoGP race win. Meanwhile, if Pedro Acosta misses winning at the 2024 German MotoGP, the next MotoGP round will take place at the British Silverstone circuit, April 8, 2024. Let's say Pedro Acosta is able to win his first win in the Premier Class at the 2024 British MotoGP. Pedro Acosta is 20 years 2 months 11 days old, meaning he is 9 days older than Marc Marquez's record for youngest race winner in 2013. Pedro Acosta has a chance for 7 MotoGP rounds this season to catch Marc Marquez, breaking the record for youngest MotoGP race winner. Can Pedro Acosta catch up with Marc Marquez in order to break MM93's record for youngest MotoGP race winner? Don't miss the 7 MotoGP rounds this season, starting from the Spanish MotoGP to Germany, to see Pedro Acosta in action.
I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me. Cause she got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, Casamigos to the face. Baby, I don't need no space, coming closer for a taste. And I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on a tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine.